Hi, I'm Joe. Welcome to Bell Ringer Fishing, brought to you by Bell Ringer Baits. I'm coming to you today from a stream bed in the bottom of Douglas Lake in East Tennessee. This desolate landscape you see behind me, in 3 months will be completely covered with water. "40 or so years ago, my father took me fishing to a Muddy Run Recreational Park in Pennsylvania on the south end in Lancaster County. I had a short little 3-foot Snoopy rod, and I cast it out a night crawler under a bobber about the size of my fist. Shortly thereafter, I caught a largemouth. My mind, it was probably 10 pounds. Realistically, it was probably 8-9 inches. Nevertheless, I've been hooked ever since. For years, I was content to fish just like that. Cast out a float with a night crawler underneath it or a minnow underneath it and just wait for that bite. But then one day, one of my classmates introduced me to lures. The first lure I ever used was the Rebel Wee Craw. Tiny little thing, looks like a crayfish. That was in Christmas Tree Park Pond in Manchester, Maryland. And then I caught my first bass on it. And that changed the way I've fished, probably for the better part of 30 years. Caught a lot of fish on that Wee Craw over the years, and a lot of fish on a lot of other lures. I can remember being a kid, waiting, anticipating getting the Bass Pro catalog in the mail. Back in the days before having everything in the world at your fingertips. I can remember going to a fishing show about an hour away from where I grew up with my father and with my buddies and looking to see what the latest and greatest in the industry was. And I realized that most lures are made to catch fishermen, not fish, and that the classics tend to be classic, and they catch fish year in and year out, and they have for decades and decades. I've evolved as an angler over the years, from putting 99% of what I caught on a stringer to putting 99% of what I catch back. From buying my tackle at fishing shows and Walmart and Kmart to Bass Pro, and now to the point where all my soft plastics are made in my own garage. The game has changed. I've changed with it. So on January 1st, 2020, Bell Ringer Fishing was born. Now let me tell you a little bit about the channel. It's not going to be your typical fishing channel. Yeah, we're going to go out and we're going to catch fish. But that's not all. Like I said earlier, I make soft plastics in the garage, so there'll be some demos on how you do that. There'll be some demos on how to figure out a new spot without throwing the first cast. There'll be reviews. We're going to break down new bodies of water. Got some buddies that are going to get on board. We'll do some round tables and discussions. Compare and contrast the ways we like to fish. Everybody's a little bit different, so we'll bring that to the table and share it. I want to get the viewers' input on things they'd like to see. My day job has me traveling up and down the East Coast, so that's going to provide opportunity to fish in some different locales other than my home base right here in East Tennessee. So hopefully there'll be some saltwater fishing on the docket, some rivers, and some just different locations, a little variety. I'm new at this, so I'm sure there are going to be some production bumps and bruises. And I can't really commit to when these things are going to drop or how regularly until I get a feel for how long this editing portion of the thing is going to take. But I'll be making them, and I'll get as many out to y'all as I can, that I promise. So I hope you'll come along with me. Go ahead and comment on this post and subscribe if you're interested. I think we'll have a little bit of fun, maybe learn a little something, and possibly make some new friends. Keep your eyes open for the next video where I actually do something, and we'll see you in the next round. Oh, look at this rod. And see, there's another rod next to it. It ain't moving. But the red one is moving back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Pretty sure it's possessed. It's not a fish. and it's not doing it anymore now that I started taping. That's awesome.